And I want to talk to you today, and I just pray that you will open your ears this morning. Coming towards the end of the year, and there are many of us, maybe in this church, maybe watching online, where you started off the year with a promise. You started off the year gung-ho. You started off the year with having a clear vision of what you thought might happen. And then another year has come and gone and nothing has changed. Another year has come and gone and things seem to be the same. In fact, sometimes things may seem to be worse. You come in through another year and you started off the year, you had a clear plan. You felt God had a clear plan for your life. You felt that this is going to happen. You had all of this excitement bubbling in you. And now we come to the end of the year and you're like, well, nothing's happened. In fact, things have gotten worse. What's going on, Lord? And so as we're coming into the end of the year, I know that there are people who are battling discouragement. They have questions. They're battling confusion. They're battling the why me, Lord, or how come, Lord? They're battling to see if what they heard was real. They're battling to see if the promises are going to come to pass. There's all these questions. And things may not seem to have gone your way. And today we're going to look at a portion of Scripture. And it is the preface, again, it's the introduction to the Christmas story. And we're going to look at Luke chapter 1, verses 5 to 7. And this is the story of Zacharias and Elizabeth and John the Baptist. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the division of Abijah. His wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and the ordinances of the Lord, blameless. But they had no child, because Elizabeth was barren, and they were both well advanced in years. So we see this story happening in a period of time when Rome was ruling Israel, right? We see that there was darkness. We read from Isaiah today as Jonathan was reading it. There was deep darkness that surrounded the land. Israel had been conquered and reconquered by different empires. And there was the last empire, the Roman Empire. Right? And they were walking in darkness, and they were walking under oppression. And so the cultural climate was Rome was in charge. And Rome was a very smart empire. They had people working under them, and the common group of people working under Rome were the Hellenistic Jews called the Herodians. So I'm just giving you some background here. The Herodians, they were the political power at the time, and they worked together with Rome. The Herodians had control over the people of Israel in political matters, right? And they were together. There were the Pharisees who were vying for control, the Sadducees. These are all big religious groups, but the Herodians were more of a political group that was also vying for power with Israel. And the Herodians looked to the hands of the Romans for everything. The king was Herod Antipas, and the Herodians were Rome's political mouthpiece to the Jews. The Pharisees and the Herodians were at odds with each other because the Herodians were selling out Israel, and the Pharisees hated the Herodians. But the only time it's recorded in Scripture where they conspired together was when they wanted to kill Jesus. Right? The political system and the religious system conspired together to kill Jesus. Interesting. All right. coming back to the story. But the Jews, even though they were under Roman rule, they were allowed to practice their religion. They were allowed to do their worship in their synagogues and in their temples, as long